morning, welcome back to Eurotruck. It's been a little while, and it's about time we went for a nice little drive. We are, as you can see, we have the big Oshkosh Hemet sort of military all-rounder vehicle. That's the one we're going to use. I'm not sure how it will handle some of the roads in this map, but the map we're going to be driving on is a little gem. There are some maps, there's plenty of maps out there, but this one is a 1-to-1 scale map. It is a fantasy map based on this island, and it's a map made by MyGodness. So if you want to download the map, if you just Google Grand Utopia map, within the first couple of results you'll find mygodness.net, and that is his website where you can download this map. It's just one file, and you have to create a new profile and then change the MBD to Grand Utopia in the little drop down. There's instructions on his website how to do it all. You don't need me to tell you much more, but this map is an ongoing process. This is the latest version, 1.9, and it's a beautiful map. I mean, this is evidence of somebody who's prepared to put in a bit of work and make a decent map. It's 1-to-1 scale, as I said, and the trip we are doing today, I think it's a nice little 50-mile trip. My base is down here. This was the one city or town that I was offered to start on. I could have started on others, but I thought the one at the bottom of the map will do nicely. There's new sections in this map. I believe this is one of the new sections amongst maybe one or two others, and it's going to grow. There's still plenty of room to put more on this map, but it is a map worth downloading. Remember, it's a standalone map, so you have to create the new profile, and if you follow the instructions on MyGodness website, then you will get all the guidance you need to get it up and running. So without further ado, let's have a nice little trip. If we can get this thing started. Now, where's the trailer? I think I'm at the gate. Oh, there we are, we're up there somewhere. Settings on this new profile, just a sec. I wonder if the anti-aliasing's on or whatever it is. Let me have a look. Well, the scaling, I usually have that up full. Anti-aliasing's been disabled, and again I usually put that up full. Put that on. How come everything's went to default? In fact, hang on a minute. Let's do that again. Graphics, simple settings. sync. Right, now that we've done that, we'll go into graphics one last time and see what the wrong thing, hang on, advanced settings, that's where we want to go. It scales it at 125, I'm still going to put it at 400. Reflection detail high, everything should be full. I think mirror distance, we'll go high with that as well and see what happens. Normal maps, blah 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 blah. Right, I think that's us. Now all of the graphic enhancements are activated, so we'll apply that, and then we'll pick up our trailer. Now I've already used a Jumpstart mod for my first job that gave me a few million pounds so I could buy my truck, get that done early on. Right, that's our trailer. And I've also got the new summer graphics mod installed. Oh, wrong button.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Oh, the other one I've got installed is a GPS Google Maps, well, I think that's what it's called, Google, whatever it is, voice navigation mod installed. I think this is the way we come in. Big high-speed train going past. Now we're going out across this traffic. A bit of bottom left-hand side on that reverse. Good morning.
Turn left.
I think we're going to have a bit of a problem getting out of here. We're going to have to bully our way out. Well, I can't get out. What the hell's happened? Oh, there's a... well, might be traffic lights or a roundabout, I can't remember. But this is a gorgeous map. I love it. It's not a huge map, but it's 1-to-1 scale, so we have got 50 miles to go. Not sure how challenging it is, but I mean, this big beast should handle it. I'm not sure how good the turning circle will be, maybe in some of the tighter roads if there's any we come across. Right, now you're going to have to slow down, buddy, or take me out. Right, here we go. I suppose with it being a fictional map, it's as if it's sort of Mediterranean big elements of France in it as well. There's that big high-speed train going flying past again. Now you can donate to MyGodness, his website, and I believe you can also request to have your name as a name of a town. I haven't quite gone that far yet. It's only quite a small download as well, but you do need all the DLCs, or pretty much most of them, for it to work. So, what, 50 miles an hour? I estimate we won't be going 50 miles an hour all through this journey, so it'll take about maybe, I'm guessing, maybe an hour or so, maybe a wee bit more. I drove on, I downloaded a map the other day, or last week it was, and it was the Bolivia map, and well, it's out for Euro Truck Simulator 2, but for anybody, this is my advice, for anybody who's thinking of downloading the Bolivia map, I would suggest you leave it well alone. First trip I done, I had to go down to a quarry, and there was an immediate problem with the landscape in it. And not only that, the biggest thing with the Bolivia map is it's a map that looks as if it was made 8 years ago when this game was launched. I mean, the quality of the landscapes is so poor if you compare it to this. I mean, the detail and the resolution of the landscapes is so poor. And the other thing is that I noticed is that one section of the map that I drove on looked very, very similar, if not stolen from an already stolen map. If you remember the Mario map, and it had various South American countries on it, and the one thing that I hated about that map was the fact that the resolution quality of the landscapes was so crap. And there's one town that I drove through on the one and only trip that I did on that map, and it looked suspiciously, in fact too suspiciously, like it had been pinched out of what was the Mario map. So if you want a pleasant drive, that is not the map to try. This is the map to go for. And believe me, that Bolivia map is so, well, very overrated if anybody actually likes it. And if they do like it, then they've not driven this map or any other quality maps that are out there. This is certainly quality of the highest order, which is what you want. Needless to say, that Bolivia
In 650 feet, turn right.
will run on a pretty low-res PC, but that looks as if exactly what it was made for, and it was probably made on a very low-quality PC, but it really is poor.
Turn right.
Right, here we go. It says on MyGodness website that he's put in well over 2,000 hours in the construction of this map. And when you think about, if you've ever seen, I mean, I know absolutely nothing about building maps or map modding, but I've watched plenty of guys on YouTube where they're actually building a map and adding various different assets to a map. And when you consider that everything that you see here, every single thing here, like the posts at the side of the road, everything has to be put in individually. Now admittedly the landscapes, when you put them
Use the
in,
right lane ahead.
you know, most of the trees and everything will be automatically placed depending on what texture you're using. But all the different assets, buildings, fences, gates, all of that stuff, all the roads, everything you have to spend time doing it in order to get quality, and this is a guy who's done it for quality. And it also is proof that quantity is not always the best choice when picking maps. But if anybody's got any doubt about what maps they should be trying out, this is one of them. See, it is a free map. There is another map out there I've been running, which I think is the Romania map. Or is it the Romania map? Anyway, it's a paid for map mod. It only costs you a few quid. And
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
it is another brilliantly done map. I mean, that's one thing I don't mind. I mean, I think anybody that's making map mods
ahead.
and they're making it for quality, I don't mind paying a couple of quid to get them. I think they're worth every penny, provided the stuff that you're getting is good. There's an awful lot of wasted time spent by guys making maps who they just want to throw stuff together to get it out there, and well, they're not, let's just say they're not very pleasing on the eye. Not like this one is. And there's also hidden roads on this map as well. In a previous version I certainly found one. There's probably a few more.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
There is probably a little shortcut we can take. In fact, let's look at the map. Let's see whether there's any other. See, there's a road there. Now this is probably like what you would call a main highway, but there's other parts of this map that you might want to just sort of go off-road and try them out. Well, that one there takes you back out onto that main road, and then there's a sort of but there's something that's going to test us. There's a fair few little switchbacks there. That looks a bit testy. Let's see if we can choose. I fancy going through maybe that little town there as a bit of a shortcut. Let's try that. Now, why did it go that way then? Let's get rid of that. If I can get the damn thing to get rid of it. Right. Now I wonder if we can go that way. No, we can't. I think it's because that's probably a bridge and it won't let us go there. But that's a slightly different route, isn't it? What about that way as well? If we get rid of that and go there, I think that's maybe a better route, a wee bit more variation.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Now, where the hell am I going?
Use the exit ahead.
So it's 10:36 in the morning and we'll have plenty of daylight because we're going by real time, so we should have, unless the weather changes rapidly, we should have good clear viewing for the rest of the trip. We've still got 47 miles to go. it's certainly probably not a map that you want to sort of rush around on. I mean, you don't want to be some sort of boy racer. You want to take it all in. And normally in my Euro Truck streams or American truck streams, there's very rarely a trip goes by without some sort of natural disaster, usually inflicted by myself. So with this, what looks to be like a little challenging drive, let's see how far we can get without disaster ensuing. Is that cabbages or lettuce or something?
At the roundabout, take the second exit. Use the exit ahead.
Right-hand corner
Use the right lane ahead.
An hour and 12 minutes to complete the trip. It'll probably end up being a bit longer because of the slight route variation that we've chosen, and that those fair few little windy sections that we've to get round. I'm not sure how this big beast will make it round them, but we're going to find out.
At the roundabout, take the first exit. Use the exit ahead.
We're narrowing down to 2 lanes, and the AI as usual are stopped dead in their tracks. Right, I think we will let them sit there and think about it while we make a manoeuvre. They'll sit there quite happily all day just letting everything go past them. And this is us on the sort of, I think the one main freeway, autobahn, motorway, whatever you want to call it, that runs pretty much north to south on the map. This is where the boy racers can put the foot down if they want.
Use the left lane ahead.
get to the fun part anyway, but long before we get there though. I wonder when else we turn off.
Use the left lane ahead. Use the right lane ahead.
Where the hell did that car go? Right up the hill.
Use the right lane ahead.
You're very nice, letting us out. At the roundabout, take the second exit. Use the exit ahead. this is a coastal route. think this was the right route to choose. Beautiful view along the coastline. Big rocky headland over to our right. Little dirt track there. That big rocky outcrop. turn that beacon off, in case that's what's causing maybe a wee bit of frame drop here or there. Bear in mind I've got everything turned up full now. Start fiddling about and getting distracted going through this tunnel, because you're going to hit one of those bollards right in the middle of the road. I tend to get distracted by checking out the views.
In 650 feet, turn right.
that goes. Curiosity's getting the better of me. Check the map. See, that's an alternate way. I don't know. I don't think we'll be able to go that way. No, we won't. That'll be a bridge going over that road there. That's why the GPS won't map us out that way. So that's a little windy section we got through, and then the best bit's yet to come. So we'll carry on.
Please proceed to the highlighted route. In 650 feet, turn right. Turn right.
Right, what does that say? Malter, Ayermont, Vier, de Lac, Monter la Paradis. Utopia is that way, so we're going right. Yeah, it's definitely all done with a sort of French feel to it. Obviously the names of a lot of the towns as well. Is that a little gorge that we're going through?
In 650 feet, turn right.
Was that a hidden road there? See, this road isn't on the map. And there's a shortcut there. Takes you back that way, so that's the sort of thing to look out for on this map there. That road goes that way. There's lots of little shortcuts there. There's another one, and then that brings you back down. Well, that's now a dead end there. There's nothing there, but there is those hidden roads to keep your eye out for.
Turn right.
That was a bit last minute. there wouldn't be, I can guarantee there wouldn't be many people attracted to any videos I did in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did a trip the other day, that's the rain starting. I did a trip the other day. I'd set up the night before from Donegal, which I think is over near the west coast of Ireland, and it was a flight to Prestwick, and I started it, managed to get to my it wasn't in a Cessna, well it was, I think it was a Cessna, but it was a bit more like a souped up Cessna. It was like a higher rated model, and I managed to get to my cruising altitude of 7,500 feet, got there, and then about 15 miles out from Prestwick started my descent. Everything was going okay. There was a lot of cloud. I mean, I was driving blind at some times, so you couldn't see anything. And
In 650 feet, turn right.
Came to Prestwick and got my descent wrong and ended up landing probably
turn right.
somewhere near Royal Troon Golf Course. Didn't make it to Prestwick Airport. And that's using the Xbox controller. I've got the I was intending to well, it would have been somewhere near, if you've ever been to Troon to the Open Golf Championship, or you've ever been that direction, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because if you stand looking out to sea, on your left, I mean the Troon Golf Course just runs on a very narrow strip along the coast, but at the far end, that's at the end near the town of Prestwick, not near the sea. That's basically the end of the main runway at Prestwick Airport, and I landed probably about 2 miles short of the runway on some buildings, probably near the golf course. Well, I usually find folk are laughing by the time I've finished a trip in this. A fiver. I ain't paying no money. I shelled out all that money for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've got, what have I got now? I've got another 2 subscribers the other day. I've got 408 subscribers, only 598 to go to get to 1,000. And I think my channel's been up about 6 or 7 years. So I like to do things slow and easy. And I ain't never going to be any PewDiePie. Everything I do in Flight Sim is purely, totally in numpty mode. I don't say anything. Well, this is topical enough for the guys that like Eurotruck, because a lot of them won't have driven in this map. Now you see, if I was like that, I'd be sitting, I'd be doing what most of them do, begging for likes and begging for subscribers and all of that crap. That is not the be all and end all. plus the fact I don't have time to invest in that amount of time you have to take to try and up the stakes on your channel. I mean, this is my first day off today, and this is the first time I've driven Eurotruck for a good 2 or 3 weeks since all of that VP4 tournament was on. There's bound to be loads of them. In fact, I prefer actually watching a lot of the guys in Flight Sim. I've got 2 or 3 guys that I subscribe to that have been making videos on it. But again, that's the difference between them and me. They're hardcore. You know, both of them have had what do you call that other one, FSX 11 and 10, and they're hardcore. I mean, they're, you know, every control they know, whereas I haven't got enough time and patience to actually learn all of that stuff. And so half the time they're talking, most people, like me, won't have a bloody clue what they're talking about. I can guarantee you, anybody watching me doing Flight Sim won't last 5 minutes. I guarantee it. Because a lot of them want to see competent people actually doing it, whereas I don't fill that bracket. I don't come into that category. I ain't competent at bloody flying a plane. I think most people that actually do and get into Flight Sim games, they want to be competent at it, because, you know, if they want to take the time to do it. What the hell is this we're on? That's a bit like saying, you know, like categorising Virtual Pool 4, that people want to watch it. People don't. Because see, if they did, I'd have 1,000 subscribers 6 years ago. They want to watch people. They want to watch people who are good at the thing. This is a windy section I was talking about. Yeah, and I have the other night there, before I started that flight, I actually shoved the I think the game automatically had me set it medium high or something. I just bunged a whole lot up high and it still runs fine. Everything up full. Oh, there's a nice little village we're going through. bit of a tight squeeze. This could be the first accident of the day. How am I going to get round here without knocking the corner of that building over? Well, the answer to that is rain. I'm going to have to pinch my way around this corner. That's the problem with driving this big beast. It's so long, the actual truck, trying to get the nose round. We need to get out of there. Hopefully the AI have slowed down up ahead and see that I'm coming. Yeah, they have. Well, this is a beautiful little town. That might be the biggest test, that turn there. I just spend a lot of time sightseeing on these maps, try to spot things, and that's the great thing about good quality maps, is that you've always got things to look at, and things that you'll probably drive past and miss, and then you can drive past it another time and you'll spot them. The thing with this being a 1-to-1 scale map in real time, this rain could be on for the rest of the trip. How far have we got to go? 21 miles. Yeah. The bad weather's set in. I'm going to have to dig out that, I can't even remember what brand it is, this joystick that I've got. I got that years ago when I first got it, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Goodness knows how old this joystick is, or whether it'll actually work in Windows 10. It's a that's what it is, it's a Thrustmaster something. And I'm sure I'm sure it probably had software with it at one time. I've still got it back in its box, but I don't know whether it's. I can't remember whether it had a disc with it or not. I thought I had to install like configuration software at one time, but it's been that long since I've actually had it out of the box. I don't know. Well, this is nice. Rocky overhang. And he's put the road right through it. Yeah, the Xbox controller, I went into the settings to reduce the sensitivity on it, and that made it better to fly, but it's certainly not as good as having a proper joystick. It's sitting on top of the wardrobe, gathering dust. There'll be about 1.5 inches of dust on it. What does that say there? Oh, it's at a resting place or a picnic area 50 metres ahead. Is that it in there? That's probably it in there. Oh, here we go. I think we might have another little challenge around this bend without cutting off the bend. Yeah, we're going to clip something here. Are we going to get away with it? Now there's a wee bit of sunshine. It might just be a passing shower. Excuse me, big sneeze. Then again, when you look at it over there, it doesn't look as if it's cleared up much. Now, let's have a look here. That little... Where does that go? Another part of the coastal road. What does that say? Paradise Road. Elevation 154 meters, route to Paradise, altitude, blah 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 blah. Let's have a look at the map. Right, this is all. Oh, we've got another sharp switchback there. We'll struggle to get round that probably. There's the one that we've struggled with so far, so this one's exactly the same. Two of them, one's a wee bit wider than the other, and then we've got all of this bit to do. And all the way around there, and all the way around there to Paradise. That's where we're heading to. Now you see there's a road there that's at the moment going nowhere, but that's probably going to be the next part of the expansion. And there's a road coming there that could go here. So and then there's the main, one of the main routes there. So there's expansion options here, which is probably where he's going to build next. And then you've got all of this southern part of the island to go. So we've driven from my home base there all the way up here so far, and then we've got all the squiggly bit to go through to finish the trip. There's not an awful lot of one-to-one maps on Eurotruck, but it has to be said, most of them are great work. That Romania map that I paid for, I can't remember how much it cost, a couple of euros or something. But it's got huge expansion options. When you install the map, there's only a small portion of the map that's actually active. And there's all the other cities and towns within the country that are mapped on the map that they're intended to expand the map to. So there's an awful lot of building potential on that map. It's going to take a number of years for them to do that. See, the thing about Flight Simulator, the big planes are the easiest to fly. The big jumbo's probably the easiest plane to fly in the whole amount of planes that you've got. I mean, basically all you do is get yourself off the ground, get rid of the undercarriage, get to the cruising height, and then stick the autopilot on, and that's it. Go and make the tea. couldn't be simpler. I watched Parliament the other day, and because, well, I presume neither of us are any good at the navigation process, whether it be VOR or whatever the hell you call it, VFR and that crap. But I watched him and he was exactly the same as me. He's got a video on his channel, and it was a short flight, and he actually flew to an airport and then couldn't find a way to land the plane, because although the GPS shows you the mark as you're flying to the runway, it doesn't show you what way to come into the runway, and he couldn't find it, so he ended up circling the runway for like 4 or 5 times to try and... I never ever actually saw him land the plane. I think I quit the video, but I had exactly the same problem, simply because we don't use the proper navigation to find the line into the runway. Fly to the 7 wonders of the world. It'd be a bloody wonder if we could get off the ground. So here we go, here we go. Now, just to point out, the spray that you see coming up from the cars isn't the game. It isn't the default game that's doing that. It's the new summer graphics mod that's doing that. Oh, this was asking for serious trouble trying to get around here, but right. Well, I'm just gonna have to push you out the way, my friend. Impatient drivers behind us. Now, if the AI behind him know that I'm coming on the wrong side of the road, then they'll stop. No, see, I'm still in my side of the road. That's why they keep coming. You're going to have to go the same way. I knew it was a bad idea bringing this thing. And we're going to end up going up this wall here. Now, are they able to get past me? Yes, they are. And I bet you there's just going to be a constant stream of traffic here. There's going to be no break in the traffic for me able to get across. I think I should have brought my little Zill truck, the little, I'm presuming that's a Russian truck. I think I should have brought it. It'd have been better to get around these tight corners. This is great for off-road driving, this big beast. It'll get across pretty much anything, but not very good for tight bends. That's its major drawback. Yep, we've now got a problem. The buses can't get round. Now, is that going to let him move? I think that's going to let him move. Yeah, here we go. Here's the big truck coming as well. Yeah, we're scuppered here. If this truck gets out the way quick and nothing else is coming, no, they keep coming. Round. Yes, he is. Right, let's try and do it now. There we go. And the rain has stopped as well, I think. Well, we managed to get through it. We only smashed up a couple of cars. And we're back to sunshine. Good morning, Dave, or good afternoon. What time is it? Might as well get the plug in. We've got the 10 ball World Masters Championship coming up soon at the end of the month. In Virtual Pool 4, that is. So I'll be doing some live streaming of those. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get to the bloody end of this thing without any more damage. And Barker's won't be playing in it. Barker's sent Tin. He sent me a very nice email thanking me for doing the streaming. But the toy table stuff, 9 ball. And 10 ball isn't usually his game. I think he's strictly snooker, and he said he'd be very unlikely to. I mean, I've never seen the guy online until this tournament. Never seen hide nor hair of him. And his name, I think his first name's Andy. I think that was his name. I'd never actually seen him until this tournament started, or that tournament started that's just finished. Well, maybe he is, but from looking at him, I can't tell who it is. Well, it won't be Gary. Gary B from the States. It won't be him. He's not that daft to do anything like that. He's got more sense. How far have we got to go? 19 miles or 18 miles? I can't. Well, I couldn't fathom out why he would want to do that. Why would he want to come in a different profile and enter a snooker tournament when snooker is something that he doesn't play half the time? He's strictly 9 ball. I'd just like to point out, by the way, that I got a 95 breaking snooker the other day, and it wasn't one of these. It was in a room practicing. Waiting for a cowboy match, and I broke off conventionally, none of this stub break off, and I didn't smack into the back of the pack just to open the reds. I actually constructed it like you would a proper break, managed to get an angle in the blue to break the reds open, and got a 95. I think my highest break in any games that I've played snooker, which have been very rare, I think my highest break is still about 66 in the game. But I got a 95. What the hell's this up ahead? This looks like bloody, what do you call it? Yosemite National Park coming up here. What the hell is this? Let's have a quick look. Oh, this is gorgeous looking. We're in a hidden valley here. I mean, look at the quality of these of the landscape, and you look at some other maps, especially that map that I mentioned, that Bolivia map, and it is utter garbage, with the greatest of respect to anybody that makes maps. But this looks as if it's going to be interesting, trying to climb up here. Look at the traffic. Now hopefully there's no any road up this far. Yeah, I think this is all just scenery, but this is beautiful looking. And there's the road there. No, I haven't seen the video, but the guy must be a nutcase to try and climb that bloody thing. He should have done what Mr. Spock did. Just put on his jet boots and then just flew to the top of it. Now you have to have seen the Star Trek movies to know what I'm talking about there. But no, you've got to be a nutter to actually try that. But these guys have got a death wish. They're forever falling off the sides of mountains with just one little rope on them. Well, this is going to be a bit of a challenge, like I thought it would be. And it's all in the preparation, this truck driving. Take the right truck for the job. I thought this would be it, and then I looked at the windy roads and I had second thoughts. Yeah, all he uses is soft rubber soled shoes and chalk. That's about it, probably. A chalk bag strapped to his side to give him, to dry his fingers, to give him a grip. Well, this, if you notice, a lot of the towns have got a French name to them. It's based on, if you go to, if you Google Grand Utopia, 2 separate words, and MyGodness, all the one word, that's the guy who makes the map. It'll take you to his website, and I think there's a bio on it about how he came about this map, or what it's meant to represent. But to me, driving on it is like driving on a Mediterranean island somewhere down off the coast of the south of France. That's most certainly what it's based like. So you could like have your own wee truck company, and all you do is have the sole rights to driving and making deliveries all around the island. That's a bit like up here. We've got, if you know the west coast of Scotland, you know where I stay. On a good day when I'm driving home down the M77 from Glasgow, I can see Arran, and Arran is very much like having a truck company here, because on Arran you've got Arran Transport, who are the truck company on Arran, and they'll deliver everything for you as long as you pay the money, obviously. But they go back and forward from the mainland. And if this was an add-on map, which it isn't, it's purely a standalone map. It doesn't connect to any of the default maps in Eurotruck, so it doesn't connect to the European map at all. It's just standalone. That's why when you look at the map, it looks like that. So you don't have anything of the other maps in the game. But if this was to be made to be a connecting map to the rest of the maps, it would probably be somewhere in the Mediterranean, just off the coast of France. That's probably where it would be, in the western end of the Mediterranean. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's fictionalised, but with it being an island, now there's a waterfall effect. Now you see that there, for example. Okay, there are waterfalls that will look better than this, but just to show you this, there are not many map makers would try this. But to give you an idea, I mean, I don't make maps, as I've said earlier, but if you look at the shoreline, if you're on any map and you look at the shoreline on a map, you will see that when the waves are coming in and breaking on the shore, you'll get this sort of foamy effect at the edge of the shoreline. So what he's done is he's taken that foam effect and he's got it running down the side of the cliff here. I went under the road there, hang on to get a better view. That's better. And he's given you this waterfall effect, so even little touches like that you will see in certain maps. It looks poor, but believe me, it's a heck of a lot better than some waterfall effects I've seen in much older maps. But from it, see, the thing is, from a distance, right, see if you're here, that looks fine from here. The only thing is it's probably not going fast enough, but it's still a nice little effect, and it's a nice little attempt to create that waterfall effect. If you ever drive the southern region map, which is not a one-to-one scale map, the southern region of Russia map. That has got a lot of little touches in it as well. On some of the forest roads in it, you've got little stream effects, and all of these are, I mean, these are things where the guys that have made the maps have actually taken the time and thought, well, how can we use the tools and the assets that we've got, as limited as they might be, to actually try and reproduce different things or different effects. And that's an example there. If you look at that waterfall, yes, it's very easy to be critical, but unlike me, I've driven this game since it first came out, and I've seen all sorts of crap in maps, but that is a valiant effort at creating an effect that simply isn't in the game. There is no facility and no asset within the mod making section of this game, or the map making section, to actually, there's nothing that you choose that says it's a waterfall asset and then you drop it into the map. There's nothing like that. So the guys that make these things have to use their imagination to actually get that effect, and that is not a bad effort for the limited resources that they have to do it. Now I've started to yawn, so we're going to have to get this job done and then take a rest. How many miles have we got? This is why this takes a while, with it being a one-to-one map and having to crawl through these windy roads. We've got another tunnel, and this new F mod effect should come into play here. You'll get the different audio reverberating off the walls of the tunnel. Goodness knows how many maps I've tried over the years, and I've tried a lot of them, and some promise a lot but deliver very little in terms of quality and workmanship. Workmanship is what you want. Guys that are making maps, if you're going to do, it's always the old saying, if you're going to do a job, then do the damn thing right and make a proper effort of it. I mean, I'd be ashamed and embarrassed to put out a half-arsed map where, the effort you've put into it is so crap. I would never ever want to share it in public. And that Bolivia map that I drove the other day, that was shocking to see something so weak. And I mean, the landscape in it is old school 2012 when this game came out. There's no graphic quality in it whatsoever. And then you compare it to this, it's like night and day. It really is. There's no way, if I was a map maker, I would ever say, right, that's that map done, let's have a look at it. Well, that's the best I can do, let's just bung it out and see how many downloads we can get of it, because that's all some people are interested in. It's a bit like begging for bloody subscribers on your YouTube channel. I mean, that's something I've never been in the habit of. If I can get to 1,000 subscribers, I believe I can monetize my videos. But I think I'll be a poor man by the time that happens. And then I can give up my job and then just become a professional YouTube streamer. Me and Mal did a collaboration commentary one time, and that didn't work out too great. We were talking over one another most of the time. Well, this is a beautiful part of the hidden landscapes inside this island. I think by the time we get to the end of this, I'm going to be falling asleep long before we, well, not by the end of it, but before we get to the end of it, I'm going to be falling asleep at the wheel here, folks. But this is oh, there, we've cut the corner too quick. That's what happens, like that. And these buggers will keep driving forward. So you've got to bully them out of the way. Now, I wonder if I can use the off-road capacity of this truck for a second here. Hang on a minute. They're going to keep coming forward if I keep moving back. Let's go climb a mountain. As long as there's not a hidden wall preventing us. Now we're going to have to force our way back out onto the road. That'll do damage. Look at all the traffic coming behind us. The amount of people have held up there. Yeah, if I was ever going to take streaming seriously, it would be better quality equipment. I'd have a room separate for green screen. I'll tell you something though, VCam that I use, they brought out a public release test version a couple of days ago that I downloaded last night, and that is probably the best I've seen yet for the background removal on it. It's vastly improved. It really has. I don't know what they've done, but they've vastly improved the background removal, where you can drop in whatever picture you want. It is much better. They're working on it to make it better, and this version that I've got now is excellent. I should have actually switched it on. Well, I'm glad I took this route, because I never thought it. I mean, I've never driven this part of this map, but I never thought it was going to be like this. I mean, this could be anywhere in the United States. It could be anywhere in Yosemite, these sort of places. I think we better get a motor on here to try and get this done before I drive over the edge of a cliff. I would love to just slow down and stop at every sign just to read them. Now presumably we just get damage to the truck, we didn't get damage to the goods. Aye, that's fine, that's nothing, that's no damage, that's just wear and tear damage that you normally get. That's fine. Now when are we to be there? We have to be there at latest Monday 14:07. What's the time at the moment? It's only 12, it's only 11, it's only 12 o'clock, so we've plenty of time. The only problem is I don't think we'll get there without falling asleep. So let's just nudge it a wee bit. I've been cruising all the way through this, just admiring the views. I mean, little things like entering that tunnel there, and there's a little sign. You'd be amazed at the amount of maps where, I mean, you'll drive for an hour and you'll see one road sign. Folk just haven't spent the time and effort to finish their work. And they've got no idea that a lot of that stuff is what makes the driving experience on these maps enjoyable. Well, this is one map that I would thoroughly recommend to anybody. I mean, it's so easy to install, it's one file, the file isn't huge, and this is the sort of quality you get. And the new summer graphics mod puts more floral stuff on the landscape. So if you look at the side of the road there, for example, see there, where was it? If you look at the bushes and stuff, you'll see there'll be bushes that'll have flowers on them and things like that. You'll have that bit more detail on the actual foliage and greenery that you see around the map. So this isn't necessarily how the map looks on default graphics settings. What I've done is used that new summer graphics mod to enhance. One of the things it does is enhance the vegetation, and that certainly adds to this map. There's another. What does that sign say there? I'm going to stop to read it. Allumez vos feux. Now, if I knew French, I'd know what that says. Now, défense de fumée means no smoking, but I don't know what that means. Allumez vos feux. If I was that keen, I would go and Google it to find out, but I can't be bothered. Is that what it says? Yeah, you see, because these tunnels could, they could harbour carbon monoxide, not carbon monoxide, what do you call that other thing? The one you get down the mines. The one that you don't smell or anything like that, but as soon as you light a fag, it blows your arse outside the back of your head. I'm trying to think of the name of that gas now. Laverne. What do you call that gas again that you get down the mines? Yeah, that one. No, not methane. I mean, I've got enough methane in this room right now. And where I'm living, which is on the edge of the countryside, there's loads of methane going about at this time of year. What the hell do you call it? It's not methane, it's the invisible, you know, there's no smell to it. The miners took canaries down the mines. As soon as they collapsed off their perch, that was it. Was it methane? Well, anyway, that's why you have to extinguish any naked flames get through tunnels and stuff. But it's also why modern tunnels have got ventilation systems in them to take care of that sort of stuff. Some of these tunnels running through the Alps are like 10 miles long. Well, this is definitely alpine, no doubt about that. How many miles have we got to go? 13 miles. Oh no, we'll be dead at the wheel long before we get there. Yeah. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll just cheat our way to the end without falling asleep. Hang on a minute. Options, gameplay, fatigue simulation. I've got traffic offence off, or else I'd be skint. I'd be getting fined every 5 minutes. Right, that'll do it. So we've got the fatigue simulation off, and that'll save us falling asleep. I don't want to ruin the trip by doing that. And obviously the other problem I've got is I can't take a rest stop, because if I do, I'll be late for my delivery. So you might as well cheat. What's the speed limit here? 50. This is a nice bit of road. rain's all cleared up. What the hell does that say? Oh, that mean that we're coming to a town, I think, or a village? Maybe not. What does this sign say? Tunnel du Mont d'Or, 1,000 metres above sea level. That's like what, 900 feet or something like that. No, wait a minute. No. There's 3 feet in a metre, so that's 3,000 feet. Or 3.3 feet in a metre, or something like that. There's a guy I subscribe to on YouTube actually did that. He's got a video, what's it, I can't remember his name, but he had one or two of his viewers requesting him do something, and one of the videos he's done recently was the Taj Mahal. Now what we got here? What does that say? Duver or Uver? Toll gate, I think it is. Wonder if we can sneak around this one. See if this one will work automatically. That way you don't have to wait in the queue. Yes, it does. Just bully our way out past him. Big suspension bridge. Wonder if we can drive over that, or it's just there as an asset. Just there for to beautify the scenery. Yeah, in fact, tell a lie, I think we've just driven over it. I think we've just driven over that bridge. Or are we heading up to that bridge? The route shows us on that bridge. I think we're driving up to it. Well, no, I don't think it's a good tactical idea to start making videos about flying big jetliners into buildings. I think that's still a pretty sore point with most Americans. Not a wise move, and probably end up getting so many complaints on YouTube you'd get banned. Not the wisest of moves, I don't think, to do that. I mean, you're talking to the guy who what was that game I had in the PlayStation 3? The little karting game, but you could modify everything. You could create your own little tracks. You could create your own vehicles, design them. You could also create your own characters. And I created a character one day and I thought, he looks like Adolf Hitler. I'll just stick a moustache on him. And did I not get banned? Get banned for a week. Dear. And then what the hell was the game called? I've totally forgotten. And then I created I created a car where I had to actually physically make the logo for the Who, for the band The Who. I had a picture up in the background, and then I was using a little editor to create this, to create the Who logo, which I did, and I did it very well indeed, although I say it myself, so I could actually paste it onto the side of the vehicle. And then I made a character that, well, if you ever see it, you'll swear to God it is not John Entwistle, bloody Pete Townsend, because I gave him the Pete Townsend nose, and I also put him in the white boiler suit that he wore during the Isle of Wight concert in 1970, and I had that character. And the good thing about that game was you uploaded them to the server, and then of course you just waited to see who would download them, and that was one of my best downloaded characters that I created. Oh, that was a brilliant little game. I waited and waited and waited to see if they'd bring out a new version of it, and they never did. And those characters will still be on the server. Also made a Gran Torino, a Ford Gran Torino, and I spent hours designing the stripe down the side of it so that it looked exactly like Starsky's car in Starsky and Hutch. I made one of them, and it looked brilliant again. Even though I say it myself, it looked great. It got loads of downloads. I loved that little game. Just like a little kart racing game, but it wasn't that sold it to me. It was the actual character creation and the editing that you could do in it. I just wish they'd brought that out to PC. Anyway, where are we now? We've got 9 miles to go. We've cheated, made sure that the fatigue is switched off, because he was about to fall asleep at the wheel. And we're now going through the mountains on what seems to be a pretty long tunnel. And what time is it? Well, it's only 12:15. We've to be there at the back at 2 o'clock, so we've plenty of time. That's just a sort of warning to let you know to get a move on. We'll get there in plenty of time. He says double checking to see what the time was. Yeah, we have to get there by what's that? 7 minutes past 2, is it? Plenty of time. .31 miles an hour. Well, we're doing the speed limit through this tunnel, and now we're heading over this big bridge that I thought we had driven over, but we're just about to. Look at this, my goodness. Bit misty down in the valley. Right, let's have a little stop here. Little river running right through the valley, big gorge. Look at this bridge. Now that is impressive. I'll just hold up the rest of the traffic while I'm admiring this scenery here. Yeah, very nice looking. I think we drove in under this bridge 15 minutes ago. This is us finally getting over the top of the thing. Now, what would you say the drop is there? I would say that's about 500 feet to the to the riverbed. Well, I'm guessing it would have been about 500. What does that sign say? See these bloody buttons? I have to read the sign. Col de Goule fermé. Oh well. I know what that means. That means it's closed. Yeah, everyone's shut up here. Nothing doing. What, 1,500 feet to the bottom of that river? No way. Mind you, maybe there was a sign. Maybe there was a sign that I passed that told you the height of the bridge. But if there was, I never seen it. Sometimes you'll get information like that. Like driving on the EA Brazil map, because the EA Brazil map's expanded so much, they've got Peru and Bolivia and all of that in it. And in one part of Bolivia, as you're climbing up the mountains, you're coming to a tunnel and it tells you like you're like 16,000 feet up or something like that in altitude. Right, what's the speed limit here? 50, is it? We've got 7 miles to go, so that's probably another 20 minutes yet. I think it's saying about 12 or 13 minutes, is it? Estimated time to finish. So it's the GPS is telling us about 12:30 roughly, and that still gives us 90 minutes time to actually make the delivery. So we've no worries on that score. The only worry we had was about falling asleep. It looks as if the valley's opening up now after this. sign to read. Not that I can read it because it's in French probably. Ah, right, so that is the Paradise Road. And now we're at 900 metres. Ah, now is that a hidden road there? No, it isn't. But it's certainly a dirt track. Now, let's have a look and see where that goes. Maybe that's a wee shortcut. Yes, it is. Oh no, wait a minute. No, it isn't. It's not a shortcut. It takes you up to that company there. Oh well, not far to go. Dad, what the hell does that mean? Miles to go. Oh shit, I'm too busy reading the chat there. Well, there only really is this game in Virtual Pool 4. I mean, I've done... what have I done? Not an awful lot, to be honest with you. Mafia 3, I did one of them. I did GTA 5, was it? I did one or two of them, or GTA 4, I can't remember. Bit of Bus Simulator. Now, for some strange reason, my North to Alaska video that I did, which I think was an American truck simulator. No, I've never played that game and I never will. Not interested in any type of games. No, none of these shooting, jumping up and down, bunny hopping games. Plus the fact I'm totally crap at them. No, but this, if you look for my North, is it North to Alaska? For some strange reason, my North to Alaska video, and I never thought anything of it, but for some reason it's got well over, I'm sure the last time I checked it had over 7,000 views. Now how that's come about is, I don't know, I haven't the foggiest idea. Some of my videos get little or no hits, but that one over the time it's been up has had about, I think, over 7,000 views. And I don't know why, but I've got a sneaking suspicion. If you Google 9ball.com, there are some foreign channels, some foreign websites that are a bit like YouTube that have got my videos on them. And this is something I don't know anything about. I've never uploaded them to anywhere else but YouTube. But these sites apparently pinch videos of YouTube and Twitch. But how this North to Alaska video has got so many hits, it just baffles me, because it's nothing particularly exciting.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Christ, I didn't even know there's a roundabout here. There we are. With a sort of statue thing or a sculpture or something.
Use the exit ahead.
Now, what have I just done there? Is that a sign? That sign's for the other side of the road there. I was panicking I was going up the wrong bloody road. Oh shit. Again, too busy reading. How the hell did I tip over? I mean, there's a disaster we've all been waiting on. How did that tip over as easy as that? Come on. That's what happens when you get distracted reading the chat. Easily solved. Now, the only problem is
Navigation resumed.
we'll probably get serious damage. Well, we've only got 1% damage to the goods, but the truck's going to start breaking down, the engine's going to cut out. We'll get 18% damage. I can't replay. Well, for two reasons. The game doesn't have a replay option, and I'm not streaming using what do you call it? Does that say? I'm going to have to read that as well. I'm not streaming using Broadcaster. Broadcaster has a replay option. Route to Paradise, we're now at 1,007 metres, so we're climbing up and up and up. Well, there's what you should take up, Stubb. I think you'd be a good truck driver, better than me, instead of Virtual Pool 4. I hope you go away and do what I told you to do and practice that positional play. If you do that, you'll have a chance, but if you persist with the same method, you won't. No, I wasn't looking in the mirror, I was looking at the chat. Now you see how my little truck info on the right hand side there, see that thing, you see how that's went red? That's telling me get yourself to a garage and get yourself fixed. But we don't have time, and the engine will probably cut out at some point going up this climb, but we'll make it, and we're still going up. And we'll be at 2,000 metres before long if we keep this climb. Now the thing is where we're going at the top of this climb, or do we have to go up and down the other side of this bloody mountain? But that's why the road splits into two, because we've got the single lane going up the way and that other lane that you can see in the GPS at the top going south. That's why it's gone single file traffic. Well, this has certainly been a very nice route to come along, no doubt about that. And we got the disaster that usually befalls me in every stream that I do. At this time all we did was hit a crash barrier and the truck just decided to drop dead and tip over on the side. For some strange reason it doesn't normally happen. Right. Got another tunnel. The same sign it tells you about extinguishing naked flames and stuff. No, it's another altitude one, isn't it? Oh, we're at 1094 elevation now. So that would be, let me work that out, 1094, that's 3,000 odd feet. Which is clearly going to be the highest point on this island. One mile to go, so we are almost there. And this is just a new update, this map, but I haven't seen any issues with it. No missing landscape or anything like that. There wasn't one of the alpha versions of it on one of the videos that I've seen, but he's obviously been fixing those little bugs. Now, here we go. Here we go. This is interesting. I never anticipated any snow. So we're now going beyond the snow line. And we're getting the snow effects coming up, getting picked up. There's a nice little lake there as well. I'm gonna have to look around here and crash probably. Now who would have thought there'd have been snow in the island? Just to summarise, for anybody who plays Euro Truck 2, this is a Grand Utopia map by MyGodness, and you can download it free from his website. If you just Google Grand Utopia map and MyGodness, it'll take you, or you'll find his website, and the link's on there, and follow the instructions on the website on how to install this. Comes highly recommended. Still climbing up. And it's what, 12:34 in the afternoon, so again that's still 90 minutes earlier than our scheduled arrival time, so no problem. Got there. What does that say? I'm going to read that one as well. We're now at 1200 metres. Struggling for grip here. The Paradise. station to ski. So there's a ski resort up here then, is there? Ah, there's the destination up ahead. Yeah, so this
At
is
the roundabout, take the first exit.
like an alpine resort. I'm going to read that sign there as well. That's probably the final one with an altitude on it. What did that say? End of the road, route to Paradise, 1258 metres. So that was the Paradise Road we came along. Yep, an alpine ski resort we've arrived at. Now, what did she say there?
Use the exit
take
ahead.
this one here. I wasn't even listening to her. Get zoomed in a bit. Now it'll be about another 25 minutes while I try and park the truck. If I can find my way into where I'm going. Now, what's this, a recruitment agency? Oh, engine's conked out. Well, we've managed to get there anyway. Where are we going? In there? I think we're going in there.
Turn right.
There's going to be a gate that opens, I think it is. I hope it is.
You have arrived at your destination.
Now, where the hell do we park? What's there? And these trailers have been placed there, or those cabins or units, whatever you want to call them, have been placed there to make it bloody awkward parking. And the engine's cutting out again. The camera's jiggered as well. Get this truck fixed because there's some pretty major damage to it. Right, so well, we lost a couple of quid for the damage. Let's just move the steering wheel out the way, and we'll have a final look at where we came from. Hit continue. Look at the map. That's Le Paradis. So the trip was 50 miles, and we started down here in my hometown of whatever it's called. What the hell does that say? I don't know what that says. That Lille Leafy. It looks like two L's, an I, double F and an E, however you pronounce it. We started there. We've driven all the way up there. We could have went that way, but we took the coastal road, which took us through that sort of Yosemite place, and then we had the big climb up the Paradise Road up the mountain to the ski resort, at least that's what I'm calling it, of Le Paradis. And remember, this is a 1-to-1 scale map, so that was 50 miles. So the longest trip you could take is probably from down there up to this little isolated island up here, up at this part of the map, which hopefully we can get to some point. I'm going to be doing a few more of these because there's a lot of this map that I want to drive on, but that's just one trip. So I think it's time for a cup of coffee and something else. It's time we took a little break. That looks like an airport there, something like that, or maybe representing an airport, I would think it is. And as I say, try and maybe find one or two more of these little hidden roads on the map, because not all is as it seems to be when you look at this map. There is little hidden back roads and shortcuts that you can find, so that adds to the enjoyment. So with that, folks, thanks for your company, and no doubt we will see you again soon at some point. So until then, take care, stay safe, keep your distance, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.